Hello students, myself Anil Kalyankar from Baharji College, Basmat. Today we are going to learn the vector atom model, one of the topic in our paper number 14, that is the atomic physics. So we know that basically a model, that is the vector atom model, it is the extension to the Rutherford atomic theory as well as Bohr's atomic theory and Sommerfeld atomic theory. So, in Bohr's theory, we know that there are the three postulates. That is, the postulate first tells us the centripetal force of electron in orbital motion is exactly equal to the electrostatic force of attraction between positively charged nucleus and negatively charged electron. And the second postulate tells us about the angular momentum, that is particularly the orbital angular momentum. That is, orbital angular momentum is equal to integral multiple of h upon 2 pi. And the third postulate is the difference between the two energy levels, that is En minus Ep equal to h nu, where h is Planck's constant and nu is the frequency of radiation. So we also know that the when electron makes a transition, that is, it jumps from outer orbit to inner orbit, then according to Bohr's theory, it emits some characteristic spectra having particular wavelength, and therefore this spectra can be studied. It can give many answers to the further theories of atomic physics. So here Bohr developed his theory, and then Sommerfeld also explained the fine structure of hydrogen spectral line. But he was unable to give correct prediction of number of spectral lines, and it could not give the relative intensities of the lines, and also it was also unable to explain the complex spectra of alkali metal lines such as sodium. And also Bohr was unable to explain the distribution of orbital electrons around the nucleus. So in the next to Bohr and Sommerfeld, some new theories came, that is the Zeeman effect, which tells us that splitting of light due to magnetic field, and Stark effect, that is the splitting of light due to electric field. So these theories were to be studied, but Bohr theory and Sommerfeld theory could not satisfy the Zeeman effect and Stark effect. So physicists suggested a new vector model of an atom which basically deals with the total angular momentum, that is capital J, and which is the result of the combination of orbital and spin angular momentum, that is J equal to L plus S. In order to explain complex spectra of atoms and their relation to atomic structure, the vector atom model was introduced. The vector atom model is based upon two distinct features, namely conception of spatial quantization and number two, the spinning electron hypothesis. So first we will see what is spatial quantization. So according to Bohr's theory, the orbits are quantized, means there is some quantum condition. According to Bohr's second postulate, the angular momentum has respective values as per the values of principal quantum number n. That is, we learn that L equal to n into h upon 2 pi, where n is principal quantum number or total quantum number, having values 1, 2, 3. If n equal to 1, then we get the orbital angular momentum for first orbit. If we take n equal to 2, then it is for second orbit, and so on. So this Bohr's theory, according to quantum theory, the direction of orientation of the orbits in space is also to be quantized. To specify the orientation of electron orbit in space, we need a fixed axis. That is, electron is revolving around the nucleus, and its orbital motion can be studied by taking a reference axis. So how that axis can be created? So when an external magnetic field is applied to the motion of electron, then that direction of magnetic field can be chosen as the reference axis, as we see in this figure, that is the z-axis, about which this orbital angular momentum vector capital L is preceding. The magnitude of orbital angular momentum is given by root of small l into L plus 1 multiplied by h cross. Here, small l is the orbital quantum number and h cross is the constant, that is h upon 2 pi. So in the next, another feature of vector atom model, that is spinning electron hypothesis. So in this figure, we see that the electron is performing the orbital motion about the positively charged nucleus. So this is the axis of rotation about that the electron is revolving. But when electron revolves around the nucleus, at the same time, it also moves about its own axis. So this motion of electron about its own axis gives us the spin motion, and the motion of electron about the positively charged nucleus gives us the orbital motion. So this orbital motion gives the orbital angular momentum, and the motion of electron about its own axis gives us the spin angular momentum. So this spin angular momentum capital S and orbital angular momentum capital L both combine to give the total angular momentum vector capital J. So what is to be given in the spinning electron hypothesis? So the concept of spinning electron is introduced by Uhlenbeck Goudsmit to account for the observed fine structure of spectral lines to explain Zeeman effect. So in the next chapter, we will see the Zeeman effect, that is the splitting of light due to application of magnetic field. Now, according to quantum theory, the spin of electron should be quantized. Hence, a new quantum number S is introduced due to spin motion of electron. Since orbital and spin motion both are quantized in magnitude and direction, and they are considered as quantized vectors. Hence, the atom model based on these quantized vectors is called vector atom model. So, we should know here that the vector atom model is based upon the two distinct features, that is the special quantization, and spinning electron hypothesis. So while in the spinning electron hypothesis, one thing is here clear that our total angular momentum vector J is result is coming into result due to the orbital motion of electron and the spin motion of the electron. So the orbital structure of atom depends upon the number of electrons in the respective orbits. That is the basic part we already know. So this variation of electron orbit uh, and the electron can be observed as a background knowledge to you. So friends, thank you for this basic background about the vector atom model, one of the interesting concept in our atomic physics. Thank you.